Hello, and welcome to the Daily Kirby Stage podcast. Today, I'm going to be playing the third stage of Onion Ocean. This podcast used to be daily. That's why it's in the title. However, I have not uploaded anything for 5 months. That's almost 6 months. Venom Image, 6 months. 6 months. So funnily enough, this is my second time making this episode. That's not because I thought the previous one was bad or anything. A large part of what I want to do with this podcast is just experiment, see what happens. If I end up with something bad, I'll just go with it. However, I missed the energy sphere. The first energy sphere of the stage. I was too distracted talking that I completely forgot to remember which path I was supposed to go in the maze area. So, I made the executive decision that if I miss an energy sphere because I'm going for 100%, I'll just restart the stage. If I've already beaten the stage by the time I realize, I'll probably just make it a new episode or something. But I feel like exit coursing and just playing through the whole stage again a second time in the same episode kind of breaks the spirit of what I want to go for here. Speaking of which, I have been passively thinking about this podcast every now and then, in the time that I haven't been uploading to it. This YouTube channel, in general, kinda sucks, if I'm gonna be honest. Not in the sense that I don't have fun making it. I think it's fun. I like the weird experimental nature of it. However, it's not really a captivating concept. Let's Plays in general, I feel, just aren't really a big thing on YouTube nowadays. At least I personally haven't really seriously watched gameplays in a while. Or well, every now and then I'll watch a Let's Play, but nothing like this, really. And despite the fact that I call it a podcast just because I think it's kind of a funny idea of a podcast lasting the duration of a Kirby stage every episode, this is essentially just a Let's Play, if we're gonna be honest. And I've kind of been thinking about how I could do the structure of this podcast differently. A YouTube channel that I found closely around the time that I started this podcast for a second time, called the Co-Stars, is one I've been thinking about regarding this a bit. Because I found them on YouTube Shorts, and they do make long-form videos. That's basically just what I do on here, but not specifically Kirby's Return to Dreamland. It's one level of a video game every single day. Not until they beat the game, but just that's what they do. They just upload one stage of a video game every single day. Their videos are edited. I don't plan to edit mine because I personally like the non-edited nature of these videos. I see them kind of as the antithesis of just produce content. Not that editing videos makes it corporate or produced at all, but you know, the whole point of this channel is to be very experimental and just seeing what happens. I completely missed this energy sphere too before, actually. Wow. But okay, sorry. That's another thing I've been thinking of doing with this podcast now. Just learning to improvise and actually stay on track for what I'm talking about. I completely lost track of what I was talking about there, I'm gonna be honest. What was I talking about? Sorry. Yeah, right, co-stars. What I realized is that I feel like a format like this would be a lot better with multiple people. The co-stars isn't just one person, it's multiple people making the content there. And I realized I feel like doing this channel completely on my own probably takes down the content a little bit. And also just the way I market the videos. Again, I don't want to make these videos feel produced. I kind of just don't like how produced everything kind of just feels on YouTube nowadays. And I just don't want to be too absorbed into it, but I do have to acknowledge that it is an important part of making videos on here and making sure that people actually see it. And what I'm getting at here is every single video here is marketed as stage 3-2. The thumbnail is just the game title, the stage, and a screenshot from the game. I just feel like in the current state of YouTube, that is not a compelling way to market videos. It doesn't really... There isn't anything additional there to make somebody feel interested in clicking it. It's just gameplay of the game. You can get that anywhere. There's probably some Let's Player or streamer or whatever who's played the game, and you could just watch that instead. You wouldn't even need to wait for every single stage to be played. You could just watch that, the whole thing. So what I've decided to do now, when I just spontaneously decided to start up this podcast again, is change nothing. I'm just continuing it. Once again, the nature of this channel is just doing this weird thing and seeing where it goes. And I could definitely figure out a way to make the whole thing more engaging. And I could, like, start from scratch again from episode 1. But I don't know. I kind of just felt like continuing this just as is, because it's kind of funny, to be honest. Oh, hell yeah, first try. So I guess we'll see how long this goes. It is at least a way to spend my time, I suppose. And also, I do kind of want to use... And like I mentioned earlier, I do feel like it could be a fun excuse to practice just rambling into a camera. Just improv, just in general, that kind of stuff. Funny things to talk about. Yeah. Not getting stuck with my words like I am right now. Also just voice training a little bit. Not exactly cis around these parts. So yeah. The funny Kirby Stage podcast, nobody's favorite or least favorite podcast, is back for at least one day. That I can guarantee. I can't guarantee much about the revival of this, but I can guarantee it is today. That one Freebird's image. Today. Freebird comes out. Today. 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 Freebird. What's even in here? Stars. Link stars. Link stars, the collectible item originating from Kirby's Dream Land 2, essentially serving as Kirby's equivalent to Mario's coins, where if you got not 100 of them, but if you fill the bar at the bottom of the screen of point stars, you would receive a 1-up. This gimmick would continue into Kirby's Dream Land 3, serving the exact same role it served in Kirby's Dream Land 2. After, it would also appear in Kirby 64. However, it would not appear in Kirby Superstar, which appeared before Dreamland 3. Released before Dreamland 3. In other words, the point stars were initially only the point stars initially only appeared in the Dark Matter trilogy of Kirby games. And they would not return for quite a while. In fact, it was until this very game, the original version of it, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, that the point stars returned as a game mechanic, where now they were even closer to Mario's coins, where if you got 100 of them, you would receive a 1-up. Since then, point stars have continued to be a recurring feature of the Kirby series. Appearing in Kirby Trouble Deluxe, Kirby Planet Robobot, and Kirby Star Allies. Technically, they do not appear in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you collect, Star Coins. Not to be confused with Star Coins from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The DLC, Kirby and the Forgotten Land Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Star Cross World, introduced a new, currency. Star Coins. Anyway, this is usually where I end off these episodes. Thank you, Magler, for giving me more time to stall. I can play Egg Catcher. Wow. But yeah, I guess I'll call it there. Adios. I forgot how I ended these.